ban so many different operators. It's like every single game they're banning something different. So looking at their history, it's hard to tell sometimes. It'll be the Vigil. Yeah, didn't have that in my predictions at all. That's going to be taken out. You know,
it's a bit of a slowdown from Dots. Will now back away from the toxic gas thrown out by the smoke of Volps. Ashen looking for an entry into the building. His job will get a lot harder as they've lost J90 on attack. That's the very first kill. 15 seconds left in the round. Not a lot of time left for SSG to get towards the bomb site, especially as a second member from SSG has fallen. There's a third to go down too. How about a flawless start to the round for W7M?
Been droned out yet, so if that position isn't found quickly, could be a problem. Oh, this is surely a kill.
Yep. Nothing for SSG. In hand for the two remaining players from Spacestation, so they can make something work. Got a good idea of where Volps is. He gets away! Loban's been dropped, and finally, SSG gets on the board. But Volps is on the hunt. He's got a shotgun. Level him. There it is. W7M off to a very quick... So it's a 4v4, with Dash still having a missing HP from earlier on. They going to be able to read down Loban? Yes. Two players from Spacestation. Tracking down this player. Smoke will go out. Fultz eliminating what remained of Loban. Diffuser going down. Forest. Sight unseen as Benjamaster falls not too far removed from the execute. The advantage for Spacestation at the moment in a 3v2. Dots and Dodez. Themselves long-term teammates. Dodez looking for the follow-up as they now split their forces. You got to tussle with a Monty. Doesn't matter if Forrest is 0 kills, Jesse. He's still a huge impediment. Dots will confront him after Dodez fell elsewhere, and there's a cleanup by Fultz on the green stairs. They have at their disposal, and it might seem like they're stalling out, but that's not the case. I mean, we always go back to Vitality, the team that would wait until the final 15, 20 seconds and then suddenly pounce upon you. Also that 20-second meta as well, where teams seem to thrive in the chaos. Ashen has yet to register a kill. He's on the bench for the next minute as Volps punishes him. Now some damage is done by Dodez to Forest. Puck sets up shop down below, so Benjamaster will have his hands full, opening up lines of sight to the defenders above him. Problem is that only allows 3 players from SSG to take the engagement. Make that 2 as Forest dies. W7M had a flawless round in round number 1. Same bomb site as the first time around. Are they able to pull it off? No. Fultz says no flawless round, but still a big advantage for the Brazilian team. The defending major champion squad has looked mighty good here, but like all teams, has shown some weaknesses. Not here on Lair, though. They're really putting in the work as J90 dies. Fultz and Benjamaster are limping along, and with only 10 seconds left, and a clash and smoke en route to the bomb site. I have no idea how SSG pulls this one off. Some damage is done to Benjamaster. He's dropped, and Fultz with Diffuser. It's not going to give them anything. He'll stay alive. Still a very clean round for W7M. SS talking shield ops. There haven't been a ton of opportunities for him to do some damage. Oh my. Ashen on the board. Benja also on the board. All right, here we go. I spoke of them. What do we call it? The opposite of the caster curse. Great shot by J9. Oh! Dots and Dash. Last 2 standing. They'll have to work together very effectively, and they've already narrowed the numbers for SSG. 2 players down, Forrest and Ashen gone. Sufficient for kills at this point. 30 seconds remain for Fultz to get the diffuser, and no shields remain. That's quite a devastating loss for Spacestation to lose 2 incredibly strong operators, but hey, you've got killing potential. Benja and J90 able to get the kills in time. Should be able to keep pace with them. It's not like he's matched up, you know, it's not like LeBron going up against a bunch of like high school kids here. Smoke gets tossed all the way out. Another player will drop. That's Loban, so at least he gets one piece of his gadgetry removed from his pocket. Fultz will breathe some of that in. Forest taking off a lot of damage as well. Things are not as perfect as they seem on the SSG side, but despite the strong start for W7M, SSG are actually in pretty decent position to tie it up at the tail end of the first half. What might complicate matters is Dots on that clash, but hold on. SSG are rising to the occasion. The clash, not a problem. It's all Dash. 1 player standing against 4, and he's shot from an angle he doesn't even know. All of these walls and floors. Pistol doing so much damage. Ben just sees red running up, but they just keep looping away from him. He's not gonna get one, Jesse. He's gonna get two, locked in for the interrogation. Oh my. Does he track himself down? Does he go for another bid? Yes, he does. Two interrogations back to back, testing his luck. He's blown this round wide open. Dota's now in a 1v3. The silhouette is outlined, will be given away to Space Station. Benja trusted in himself. Dota's in a very tough spot. Rushing towards that bomb site, but SSG will give him no quarter. I imagine he waits. Why bother ruining your stats?
Save the KD, bro.
Absolutely. Do it for CGG. SSG, you know what they just did? That's the real question. I mean, you still got plenty of time. It's going to be an all-out brawl as they walk in blind, face-checking the corners. W7M want that very first kill. They had a great start to this map. They kind of lost the plot. J9O with the leadoff pick in this round. Dots will answer back. Benja gets one of his own. These teams trading back and forth. Fultz is down. So no toxic babes for coverage. The Clash still very much on board now as Dotas gets picked back up. 3 bodies for W7M that they can throw at the problem. Last bit of concealment will go out as the Sens drops moments later. 2 players from SSG in on the fun. Where does Volts go? Slowed down by the electricity of the Clash. They've got a good read on him, and for the second round in a row, they'll save the KD on side of W7M. Emptied it before being torn to shreds by multiple players on side of SSG. Lucky for Dots, he gets away with his life intact. Loban, great reflexes to punish J9O as he pops up in front of him. W7M look to be bouncing back. The Warden of Ashen encroaching on the space that Loban has set up. Finally, SSG is on the board. Fultz and Forrest with the 2 kills. As yet another attempt with that defuse case. Comes out for W7M. Different player, though, this time with Volts holding it in hand. Dash taking the position above. 30 seconds left on the clock. Fultz can light up one, but can't secure the kill. They think they know where the case is going down, but they have no idea at the moment. Volts with full HP will now sit on it. Just like a mother hen, keeping the case warm. That's something you don't often expect. Fultz gunned down by Dash. Ashen and Forrest side by side, working their way towards the bomb site, but they are miles from it. They'll be locked out by W7M. Down goes Forrest as Ashen searches for kill number 2. Not in the round, Jesse. In the map.
He gets out scot-free by the skin of his teeth, though.
That was scary.
Yeah.
If you're a Space Station, you are very worried about that one. Oh my. You could give Ashen all the money in the world at the moment and he wouldn't even be able to buy a kill. He and J9O die. Benjamaster falls shortly thereafter, and in the span of 5 seconds, SSG have lost 3 of their 5 players. As a frustrating start, they did manage to take Loban down with them at least. Volts will join shortly thereafter. Forrest rocking that MP5 suppressed, worried about being assaulted from multiple angles. Another body from W7M will go onto the pile. Volts and Forrest now making this work. Turning a bad situation into a possible opportunity. They'll all come down onto the shoulders of Forrest now as he spies Dotas. He uses the yokai drone for a bit of disorientation. He's got reads on these 2 players too. One far enough back. Forrest will continue to shoot away, but Dash, what a shot. Tie game between... Onagoyo, though, his gadgets will persist. J9O looking now to do some damage to Dots. Dotas dies to J9O, who's still holding court inside a warehouse at the moment. Being pushed off in this position. Dots inhaling a lot of damage from Fultz's gas. Benjamaster now dies. The 2 main points of SSG's spear have been dulled. As W7M are so swiftly able to do tons of damage to Space Station. Fultz's last man standing. He's hit heroics before. The Dots on that Monty will have a strong supporting cast. Fultz runs right into Loban, does a terrible amount of damage. A clutch here is very possible. You could add all 3 of these players in the server together and they are still short of one full HP operator. So just keep licking a coin. Gas goes out. Dots evading it for now, but he's got the pistol in hand, looking for the kill, and he drops Fultz. He's got time is just winding down, as we see with just about every team at top level. When it gets this close, teams start to be a little bit more careful. Dots is the first one to fall. Fultz dies shortly thereafter. Nothing really gained. W7M now lose Dash as well. This clash being a big obstacle. Volps is struggling to tackle it. Out goes the smoke to maybe conceal their movement. Now Dotez, wanting to plant that diffuser, has to pause for a moment due to the goo mine that's afflicting him. Where are the rest of these SSG players? Where have they spread out to? Volps baits one in with the bulletproof camera, looking for another, being watched quite intently. Suddenly the advantage is W7M's, and they are but a few seconds away from putting this one into the history books. It's all up to Ashen with one kill, but one kill is where he will remain. Keep in mind, Shopify Rebellion has secured their spot at the top, or onto the next section, but they have not secured it at the top of the group. If FURIA prevails, that would put CAG Osaka and Team Secret, the other three are defender favored. Do you want to guess?
The top floor.
You are absolutely correct. Fultz will start off the killing here in round number 1. Diffuser going down. Does nobody know that Dotez is there? No, the jig is up. Ashen already surpassing his kill total in 1 minute of map 2 than he did through all of map 1. This is a real feast or famine style made. Oh, there you go. Where's Forrest gone, by the way? Oh, he's back upstairs. Volps doesn't have diffuser, so all he's going for is kills. It seems unlikely that these 3 remaining players will even give him one. No. Clock, and now Fultz is tucked in upstairs in reading room. 2 players off site for Spacestation could absolutely doom W7M. Dots will now drop with the OSHA shield. As Loban dies upstairs, the Yokai drone will knock Dots out of that position. Fultz finds Dash, a second one is there. And what a world of hurts it is for Dots. As all of a sudden he's lost his shield, he's eaten up some of that gas. Lots of damage is being done to SSG, but none of the players have been taken out just yet. Dots finds a single kill, but J90 and Ashen will clean up. And a joke. Ashen 4-1 though, significantly better than in the previous map. But Benja yet to find a kill. Forrest with a perfect 0-0-0 scoreline. You don't see all that often. J90 falters. Forrest dies now as well, so I might have cursed him a little bit. W7M have the best round here on Cafe since they loaded in. They did lose Dots. One of the air jabs went off, so we know that some of that utility was put out before he died. How much remains, and will it catch any of these players from Spacestation? Better question, does SSG even bother to go for the roam?
No.
No, they don't. Fultz hiding upstairs inside of Cocktail. He finds 2 kills, and now he's on the move to backbar. He's managed to evade the eyes of both Dash and Dotez, but they've got him trapped inside a freezer. Dotez knows it. No way you're going to outduel an R4C.
These Candels are going to start to prompt the clear of that top floor. Can anybody make some space off this? We see some fireballs going out as well. Dotez finds the first one onto Forest. In comes the Ying, but it does get dropped by Fultz. They clean up as Ashen finds another, traded out, and Volps kills himself. What's going on with W7M this round?
This is just a dreadful round from W7M, especially when they're in a position to tie up the game. Cannot let this match slip away from you. I mean, it stands to reason that SSG will win more on this first half. They win that round as well.
SSG play a lot of this Mozzie. Saw this opportunity kind of back into favor. Here we go.
Oh, but Dash is ready for it. Benja the fly out. The distraction onto Dots Blitz. And now an immediate response, but unfortunately for Dots, his way into the site has been flamed off by his own teammate. Another kill to be had for W7M. But then all of a sudden, Space Station takes 3 for their trouble. Dots is the last one standing. We are 50 seconds into this matchup. And it's a Space Station sweep.
Main floor site. Loban is in.
Loban is very in. He's the most in man that ever has been. He's got the attention of J90. Nobody from deep inside a cocktail can deal with this, so Loban will square himself off. J90 dies. Ashen is not far behind. It's a very pivotal round for W7M for a couple reasons. Number one, they have, like I said, dropped the ball in the previous 2 rounds. Number two, they have an advantage. And number three, if they fail this round, it's a 5-1 for Spacestation. Now, both teams will trade out players, but if you continue to trade, those benefits go towards the Brazilians. Forrest will need to clutch, and I mean, he doesn't really have the benefit of the clock. 15 seconds difference, and Forrest could potentially stop it in its tracks. But he's in a really awful position, and well, it's W7M coming. That was the team kill round. And SSG pull it off! Oh my, it looked like Forrest was about to get both of them. Benjo with one, Forrest on the board right after. J90 will find nothing so far, as he's got an early death. Now it's W7M from above, trying to stop Forrest from getting this diffuser down. Benja oblivious to the shotgunning going on above him. Both teams will trade, but again, SSG in a very favorable position. Dots found the Blackbeard. Found no success shooting into it. Walk up from Dots, greeted by Fultz, and Ashen's grenade will get the round. These two teams set. They're able to get into the building quickly. They drone once, and that's about it. And then you don't have much to follow up on. Dash, well, he's having a bit of a rough go of it. Now, next in line is Loban, who manages to escape. He relies on an aid from Dodez, and there's a fadeaway from the Lamai, who gets a kill before Ashen's Claymore takes him out of action. Another follow-up as Forrest is a great focal point, but the attackers of SSG are all over this. W7M's scoreline looking an awful lot like the amount of kills that Ashen got in the last map. Dots is in a 1v4. SSG would have to throw this in the garbage, and they won't. Benjamaster gets the kill, and it's a 6-1 map so far. Because the defenders don't get to repick, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It also applies to people who just, they go AFK during the prep phase. Oh my.
How many early round kills are we going to get this series?
It was a 2-shot, 3-shot from Loban.
Yeah.
Goodbye to J90. Benjamaster will join him in the afterlife, and this is probably a GG. Get a brain lapse about the score as well. It slipped my mind that W7M had actually won 2 rounds instead of just the 1. Volps dies. He's having a really rough game. 2-9. Holy smokes. Ashen destroying 2 players on the side of W7M. Almost gets Dash. He holds little hope as now Forrest flicks on over and Dash is on a rampage. Fultz with 1 over towards Whiskey. He's got 12 kills. He is going to be running uphill against Information. He has a gun with the smallest magazine of any primary on attack. And he's got to deal with 2 gas canisters with how low his HP is. There is no way he pulls this off, Jesse. I do not believe it. It would need to be the most Herculean effort possible. He saw the smoke at the last second and tried to get off.
And like a book this game. In every single chapter. Now they've got 4 more to find until they can head to the last map.
Benjamaster with yet another kill, and, well, the house of cards for W7M might be crashing down, but they just got 2 very quick kills to equalize. Forrest has not had a lot of opportunity to impact the score sheet. He gets 1. Dodez is left all on his lonesome. This match slipping through the fingers of W7M. They know where the player is. They all hunt for it, and Forrest with a 2-piece to send Cafe away.
And our final ban chosen by Spacestation, maybe a Tubarao, could be a lot of different ops on this map. They choose a lot of different choices, and it will be Frost, so they won't have to check their windows as they start a zombie ban. It wouldn't surprise me if we do not see that coming through. Ashen on the Boss G hunting for the first, but it's his teammate of Benja who will instead suffer the opening death.
Not an ideal start, but Boss G, even though it did get a bit of nerfs, is still quite strong here, Jesse. Next one up is the Finca. Missed opportunity, and it's a shootout inside a Solarium. So many players wanted to take care of Benja. Both these teams sit at 3 apiece. You got the logic bombs going off. You've got the adrenal surge on the other side of it. Both teams right now being affected by gadgetry. A big play from Dodez. Dash is going to have his man in just a second as J90 doesn't want to get involved in that at all. He decides to engage after watching Forrest go down, and J90 has suddenly made it a 1v1. It's him and Dodez with Dodez inside of blue. What a round by Jack! I don't have any reason to believe that Chally's going to play out differently. W7M suffering right now on their entry, but that's quite the play by Dodez. A 4v4 with just a minute off of the clock, and now Dodez searching around the corner, but the mute of Fultz has managed to avoid the flashbangs. Dodez is losing his teammates. They just continue to trickle down in numbers. Skeleton key out, but he doesn't realize how close SSG is, and the final kill comes in the hands of J9.
Very, very useful. And he sees the man on rappel, but can't quite hit the shot.
Both maps have started the same way, by the way, which is one team wins 2 rounds, and then the next team wins the one shortly thereafter. But SSG, what did have an advantage, it has evaporated at this point. They trade continuously. Grenade will go in. J9O suffering some misfortune there, and with half of the round...
Choked one of these man advantages before. They do not want to do it again.
This is excellent. I love the work that W7M is doing right now, and Loman gets it. A bit of an anticlimactic end. Map 3 begins just the way that the other two did, which is that one team goes off to win the first 2. And Dota side by side, the 2 hard breachers, both looking in the same direction. Down goes Dash at the hands of Fultz, and SSG draws first blood. This is one of the latest bits of first blood that we have seen. The Clash will continue to waste time, and there's a supporting cast to do some serious damage. J9O making magic happen. 7 kills. Fultz could be next, but he outduels him. The Capital on the board. First kill for W7M comes very late into this round. There's only 2 players to deal with.
Ashen, he's not even flanking anymore.
I don't understand why Benja would do that. They knew that Volps was in the vicinity over there. Now it's Loban far enough back as they're going to let Volps get that diffuser down. No, he peels off to try and deal battle with Fultz. Brief pause now as Loban is trapped in the corner, and Fultz gets the J9O in a position to do some damage as well. They don't spy him, but they've got a good read on him. There's a yellow ping there, and even with all the information, it does not work out. J9O conquering W7M. They are just walking into these players from Spacestation. Another person hits the deck. Dodez has 6 kills. Dots, none. Those are the last 2 players standing for the Brazilians as they just continue to hunt for kills. SSG are toying with them at this point. That's a super shorty. No, that's the regular ITA shotgun through the floor. Dots will have to sit out another round killless as Dodez is in a 1v4 with a minute to go. Ashen getting a little mean.
All part of the strategy, Parker. Get in their heads. Make them tilt.
They both had 7 kills apiece at the start of the round. Fultz has picked up 2. J9O has picked up 1. Dodez will probably try to play off of one of these drones here, Jesse. Who will get the final kill, though? Will Forrest break his goose egg? Will it be Fultz to go through 10 as he's tucked in close on this corner? No. Dodez slaughters him in that spot, and now a drop through main lobby as he's under about 30 seconds of this clock. Doesn't hold the diffuser. And you gotta hope for kills at this point. Getting ever closer, it's Benjamaster, not one of the 2 players that we had referenced to get that kill. And
W7M in these rounds.
Dash loses 2 Candelas through that open window, and the smoke will go out as well. Ashen dies early in this round, and now Dots will tuck himself into the bomb site to get the diffuser down. He takes a bit of damage in the process, waiting for Fultz to be able to see through the smoke, but he doesn't let the gadgetry recharge. It's a mad scramble for the final 40 seconds. Benjamaster eliminating Dots. That's the shield off the board. The biggest hindrance towards winning this round should be gone for Spacestation. The next obstacle becomes getting outside and dealing with these players who are on rappel. Power positions for W7M. Hold on. J9O manages to get the job done. Good Lord, W7M. So you can get them into position. But one of the admins, I think it was, had to come sprinting over to stop this thing from colliding with the side of the stage. Just as Benja collides with W7M, down goes Volps. Again, having a bit of a rough game. He was 4-4 before this. Forrest finding himself in the site. He'll fully extend. Ashen is there for backup. They manage to trap the Valk in the corner. Ashen making a ton of noise in and out of the server. It's just Dodez left with 1:40. Jesse, they heard us talking about how quick these matches have been, and they said, what if map 3 is also under an hour? Bolts on 10 kills, J90 on 8. These players have been excellent. Forest dealt with handily by Dodez, who now needs 2 more targets. Ashen sprung into action to open up this round, and he will shut the door on it as well. It's also worth noting that Forest on attack is on shields most of the time and often doesn't even have a gun in his hands. So very different use cases for these two players.
Dots is on the board!
Yay! He seeks out Benjamaster, and again, the opposite of a caster curse, the broadcast boon. The Mike Magic, I suppose.
Hold on.
This might be a winnable round for W7M. Down goes J90. Benjamaster had died shortly before, and now W7M will mag dump into the site. Dots is dropped. Dodez might join shortly thereafter. Ashen is on a one-man mission at this point. You'd have to retrieve Fultz, but Fultz is right now, he's in the lion's den. Out goes the death mark. 2 players remain. The smoke of Loban will be out of sight, out of mind. Wait a moment. It's a 1v1. Ashen, the miracle play. Fultz crawling to him. Dodez has no insight. Fultz can get picked up in just a second, but you're running out of time. You've got to move. Neither of them have diffusers. They have to bait out Dodez. They rush in towards office. Fultz knows where he is with diffuser in hand. Dodez will creep up. No way Fultz survives this as Dodez gets it done, but a nail-biter of a round. I think it's because they were banking on a first pick, and none of the utility that Spacestation has used has really netted anything. They've used Sense very little. What a shot by Dodez. Loban will follow up with a nice shot of his own, and there's no choice at this point. Spacestation has to go in, swing for the fences. W7M are a single kill away from a flawless round. I suspect Forest is going to sit up here and take a timeout. I wouldn't be surprised if W7M calls a timeout, or sorry, SSG calls a timeout after this round in favor of W7M. The round was going in favor of the Brazilians anyway. Of defense over inside of library, and now Volps has been called to action as well. That's 3 players stacked up in this same position. Down goes Benjamaster to Dodez, and all the while Loban is just tucked into this corner in library doing his homework.
Still 2 firebolts on the side of Fultz, but if those magnets aren't cleared out, that's going to be a problem. The first one did get caught.
And Dodez gets dropped. Now there's the fadeaway from Loban back towards the bomb site. Forrest got a good look at him before he hit the deck. Volps has not relinquished control of top blue. SSG with 4 drones. They have opportunities to pilot those little gadgets around. There's a minute to go. A fall off from the library execute has occurred from Space Station, and now a more direct attack through the lobby will happen. Loban expending an impact grenade, that was his last one, to try and keep Forest at bay through the main lobby door. As now Loban finds some shelter down in the bomb site. SSG having 1 extra player over W7M makes a huge difference because it increases the power of the Monty. The more that you have around the Monty, the more formidable he becomes. W7M will be on their back foot now. As a jump in, through games will happen. Fultz dies to Loban, the Monty attracting the attention of that same Lamai. But Forest is in a bad spot. Volps on a single point of HP. Out goes the Nitro Cell. They miss, but they trade back and forth. Forest trying for the plant, running out of time. Dots on the ground. Volps just needs to hide. Forest attempting the plant. Does Volps have information? Yes, he does. And a great save as SSG misses the return. I think they're looking at separate windows, by the way.
Yeah, Dodez. Well,
what a shot from Loban to keep his team in this. The lead in numbers for W7M will grow. Trouble brewing for Space Station, not just in this round, but in the entire contest. 1 player trapped inside a connector. Dots, who had been held off the score sheet for so long, tries to back away, but he's been dropped by the nade. There was nowhere to go. Your only option was to step forward, in which case Ashen would manage to kill you dead on. Ashen baited in by Dash. He loses the fight in blue. Fultz is in the bomb site as well, and it's just now a game of keep away for W7M, with Volps and Dodez getting the final 2 kills and what was the last. And if you do that, you can stay with it. Oh my Dash. Unfortunately for W7M, this may be the end of an incredible and unfathomable comeback.
Yeah, that's a difference maker. SSG alive in the early game, an opening pick for the first time in what feels like years. They've got Forrest still on this Monty, trying to make the space, trying to get that information, work his way up the fireplace stairs. He's going to be the pinch player, too.
J90 had a phenomenal first half. He went quiet. The team relying on him, and he single-handedly won 3 rounds. He might just do it again. Not with the end kills, but the beginning. Oh, Dash and Lobin on the side of W7M. Felled by 1 player, and that's J90. Down goes Volps to Benjamaster, and oh my, what an awful ending.
16 kills. Needs 5 more if Dots can't find one.
Ashen's just waiting for the bait out. Dodez knows what spot he's in, but he fires his way out of it. He also sees the shoulder of Forrest, doing even more damage. Dots compelled into action. Dodez finished off Forrest. Not a lot of kills, high impact value. And Dots tries his best, but he can't get it done. All credit goes to Jack for that performance in that particular map, but it was a team effort from both of these squads.
Yeah.
There was very few poor performers across all 3 maps. Obviously, on the one side, you're going to have Forrest because that's just the role he plays. You're going to have Dots on the other side because, again, that's the role he plays. But the one person who is probably going to be most frustrated about that series is Volps, going -6